So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. So guys, Dillian Whyte has hit a bombshell. Dillian Whyte has come out and said that Tyson Fury, although he was hurt with the punch, Tyson Fury pushed him, and that is an illegal. That is illegal in boxing, which it is. You know, you're not allowed to push. And Dillian Whyte claims he went back and hit his head on the canvas, and the referee should have allowed him time to recover as pushing is illegal. Look, I like Dillian Whyte. I think Dillian Whyte's done well. He's done well. I think he's an overachiever. But this isn't really a great look. Look, pushing is illegal, so he's got a point. You're not allowed to push, but I don't know whether the fans are going to take pretty well to this accusation or claim, just because of how one-sided the fight was. And I think Dillian Whyte's kind of saying the fight was close and it was 50-50. I don't really think the fans saw it like that. You know, I certainly didn't see it like that. I know my brother, my father, and everybody didn't see it like that. And I know I spoke to a few people that watched the fight that didn't see it like that either. So they thought it was quite one-sided. So, and Dillian Whyte said he hopes to get another go at Tyson Fury. I just didn't like what I saw. I just didn't like the fight. I thought it was a pretty poor fight, pretty messy fight. And you thought, is it going to be one of those? Is it going to be one of those Fury stinkers? You know, where he kind of like just easily beats Dillian Whyte on points and wins a points unanimous points decision. In the end, you know, Fury of late has added knockout power where he's knocking guys out. And he ended up flattening Dillian Whyte with a uppercut. There was a push there, but you know, I don't really think the push really. I don't really think the push had an impact on the KO. I think the KO was legit. I think, you know, Dillian Whyte was seriously hurt from the punch that Tyson Fury landed, the uppercut that he landed, and I think Dillian Whyte was in big trouble. I think the push was he just pushed him away, but. I guess Dillian Whyte Dillian Whyte is looking at it and thinking, well, you know, pushing is illegal. It's not allowed. You're not allowed to push. And he's probably trying to milk the situation, even though he's lost. He's probably thinking, well, look, I lost the fight. And he did admit that it was a good punch, and he was hurt. He did admit, he didn't, like he said, well, you know, it was the push that caused him to get knocked down. But Dillian Whyte also said Tyson Fury gets away with a lot of things. What he means by that, I don't know. I don't know what Tyson Fury has got away with in the past. What has he got away with? Is it a case where, you know, Deontay Wilder's accused him in the past of things? He's thinking, if I come out with this, you know, people would take my side just because of the fact that Fury. I don't know, but you know, I do question, you know, teams, you know, PR teams and stuff that, you know, obviously would advise him, because look, you speak to your PR team, and I'm pretty sure they advise you what you should and should not be saying. But this is not going to go down pretty well, because the uppercut clearly showed that, you know, he had hurt him, and had clearly had him in a lot of trouble. You know, the uppercut had landed, and that done a lot of damage, and he admitted himself that I was buzzed. But I don't think the push had any impact, to be honest. I think he was going to go down regardless whether we pushed him or not. But I think what Dillian Whyte was trying to say, which some people looking at it from the point that he's looking at it, is that he got hit with a huge uppercut and he was hurt by it, but the push didn't help. And pushing is illegal, and he went and flew down into the canvas because Tyson Fury clearly pushed him away. And he obviously landed, and he said he hit his head. Now I need to see it back. I don't know if he hit his head or what. You know, some people are claiming that he didn't hit his head on the canvas. We know that, you know, you can, if your head hits the canvas, you can get a concussion. I know this as well, because I remember when I fell down, I hit my head on the floor and I started seeing all black, and it was like, where am I? You know what I mean? So I've had that experience in the past before, that, you know, sometimes it's not a punch that does as much damage as as your head hitting the canvas, because that's like, it wobbles you, you know, you're almost like blacking out kind of thing. So I can see where Dillian Whyte's coming from, but I think the way the fight was playing out, how the fight played out, the fact that it was pretty one-sided, and the fact that Dillian Whyte didn't say the fight was one-sided. He actually thought the fight was pretty competitive, and he thought he was holding his own in there. But that's not the fight that I was watching. I thought it was pretty. It was pretty. Like, I thought it was a pretty It was pretty one-sided, a bit of a mismatch, really. It was quite dull affair. So, you know, I know Dillian Whyte says he wants a rematch, but, you know, I don't think anyone's going to be interested in a rematch because it was a pretty poor fight, really. There was not much happening, to be honest. There wasn't more action. It was quite dirty. I actually felt people that had bought a ticket for 94,000, I think they got a highlight knockout reel. They got a good knockout, but in terms of the fight itself, it was a pretty bore fight. You know, there wasn't a lot of action, and yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of clamor or demand for that rematch. So I don't really see Dillian Whyte getting another shot, not at Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury seems to be accused a lot, you know, and like I said, I think this was nothing really. This was look, Dillian Whyte has a point because you're not allowed to push, right? But Tyson Fury landed a peach of an uppercut, which done most of the damage. Yes, he pushed Dillian Whyte down, but it looked like Dillian Whyte was going down anyway. He was in big trouble. But as soon as the shot landed, you could clearly see that he was in a lot of trouble. So technically, I don't know. In that situation, it's difficult. Should the referee allowed him more time to recover? I personally think, here's the thing. I think the stoppage, there wasn't a long left in the round, so the referee could have potentially given him that minute to recover. But because the problem is the referee has to referee the fight in the sense that the round was still going. So although there was a minute left, Dillian Whyte wobbled, you know, and staggered into the ropes. So the referee was right to end the fight. But because of the fact that the fight was the round, you know, it was coming to an end, the referee could have allowed it, but I don't think you can. I think the rules state you have to show that you're fit to continue fighting, and Dillian Whyte really wasn't fit to continue fighting. He wobbled into the ropes, so really the referee made the right call. But what Dillian Whyte is claiming is the referee should have given him more time to recover, as Tyson Fury pushed him down to the canvas. Now, I don't know what you guys think of that. Technically, he's got a point because the referee could have done that because Tyson Fury landed a good shot, but then pushed him to the canvas. You know, even though it's kind of like judgment. Was it the punch that caused him? The punch obviously hurt him and wobbled him and put him, and he was going to go down. But what Dillian Whyte is claiming is the fact that the push impacted the knockout, so it made it even worse. He was already buzzed from the punch, but the push made things even worse. I think that's what Dillian Whyte's claiming, and hence why he feels that he should have got extra time. I don't know what you guys make of that. I don't know. It's a bit of a gray area because you're not allowed to push. Pushing is illegal in the sport of boxing. But the fact is there was a peach of a punch, and it was a kind of a punch which knocked guys out. So it's hard for me. It's hard for me to really say personally. For me, I think White would have lost anyway. I don't think the push had anything to do with the outcome of the fight. I think White would have lost, and I think he would have got knocked out regardless. I think that as soon as that punch landed, I think regardless of whether Tyson Fury pushed him or not, I think the fight was done. I think the punch was too sweet. It was too good a punch. If he didn't push him, I think he still would have fell down. I don't think he hit his. I can't remember him slamming his head on the canvas. I honestly can't remember watching it. I felt like he landed on his back, but again, he might have hit his head on the back, which made things worse. But he did get up from the punch. He did get up, so it wasn't like Alexander Povetkin or AJ punch. He did get up from the punch. It's just that he was not really in a fit state to continue. But what he's saying is he should have been given time to recover, which he didn't get. You know, I personally think that the fight was pretty dull. It was pretty dull. The boxing, you know, it wasn't. Look, pushing is illegal, but I've seen pushing all the time go unpunished. Now, obviously, in this case, it was obviously a knock. It was obviously a knockout. So maybe Dillian Whyte feels that the referee should have given him time to recover. For me, I think it would have been a bit soft, just because there was a serious punch that landed, and it was the kind of punch that knocks guys out. Referee was right there, so the referee would have seen that punch, and the referee has to make a judgment. He has to make a judgment whether the push further impacted the knockout. But in his opinion, he thinks that the punch was the one that did the damage. The push didn't really have much bearing on Dillian Whyte's state that he was in, and he felt that the right decision was to stop the fight, or to count him, and then obviously see if he's in a fit state to continue. And obviously he wasn't, because he staggered into the ropes. And I think the stoppage was fair. I don't think Dillian Whyte could continue. I don't. But because of the fact that Dillian Whyte is saying that pushing is definitely illegal, and the fact there was so little time in the round there's so little time left in the round, the referee probably could have given him a bit more time to recover. Hence would have meant that the round would have ended, and then Dillian Whyte could have come out for the next round. I do think that he wasn't that badly hurt. I think he was hurt in the sense that the referee was right to stop the fight, because he didn't show he was in a fit state to continue. However, I think Dillian would have recovered from that. I think he would have recovered from that in the next round. I think he would have got knocked out, because Tyson would have got him somewhere else with another punch, an uppercut, probably another uppercut, or maybe a right hand down. I think Tyson would have got him eventually. But maybe Dillian has a point that the referee could have given him some time, and that meant he would have been able to see out the round, which then he probably would have recovered and come out the next round. So you guys make of what you want to make of that. Personally, I just think it looks bad. It looks like a sore loser. It looks like excuses. It does look like that a little bit, because what you gotta realize is that he was soundly beaten, really. And then he also says that he felt that the fight was pretty competitive, which it wasn't really. From what I was watching, it wasn't that competitive. It wasn't the most exciting fight. Dillian Whyte also said that he hoped Tyson Fury doesn't retire because he wants another go. That's not going to happen. Dillian Whyte's never going to get another shot at Tyson Fury. I don't really think there's a lot of history there. I don't really think the fight was that competitive, and I don't think the fight was exciting. If it was a barn burner of a fight, it was 4 rounds of, Fury got dropped and then Dillian got dropped, then fair enough, you can call for it. But, like the Wilder fights, the first and third fights, like even if you were to make a Wilder 4th fight, I still think it would be big and it would sell, because there was a lot of drama in especially 2 of those fights. But this one, there was no drama. It was quite one-sided, and it looked like Dillian was out of his depth. It looked like that Dillian didn't know how to, cut the ring off, and cut the height. The reach was just too much. That's what it looked like from watching it live. It just looked like that Dillian was having a lot. Dillian was landing some good body shots, but I think Tyson Fury takes the body punches pretty well. I think he needed to land a haymaker on the chin. Unfortunately, it just didn't look like Dillian Whyte was going to land on his chin, because Fury was just too big. He was too big. And Dillian's not the fastest, and I think that's also an issue. Dillian's not the quickest guy. His punches, there's no feints. It's pretty telegraphed. For someone like Tyson, it's pretty easy to see. So I felt like although people were giving Whyte a chance and they thought Whyte would be dangerous, looking back at it, you probably think to yourself, did Whyte really ever have a chance against Tyson Fury? Was it always a bridge too far? Probably. But, what do you guys make of this push? Do you think Tyson Fury pushed him? Do you think that impacted the knockout further? What do you guys make of it? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd really love to know your thoughts. And make sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.